Today we are marching in the streets of London because we are campaigning for a final vote by the people on Brexit. And while yes, as a member of the minority arguably affected most by this decision, I do not actually get a say in this vote. But it doesn't mean I'm not allowed to stand up for the democratic process in the country I've chosen to make my home. We all know that the Leave campaign lied through their teeth to achieve their ultimate goal of destroying the UK, I mean leaving the EU. And they succeeded, 51.9 to 48.1%. Yay! A theoretical crowning moment for any politician. But Nigel Farage, the main figurehead behind the Leave Lie campaign, instead chose to resign immediately.
And so I feel it's right that I should now stand aside as leader of UKIP.
And admit to lying the very next morning on national television.
The £350 million a week we send to the EU, which we will no longer send to the EU, can you guarantee that's going to go to the NHS?
No, I can't, and I would never have made that claim.
And prominent Conservatives didn't want to take the PM's job either.
That person cannot be me.
Funny that. Anyway, fast forward 3 years, and the easiest deal ever made is also the most unpopular in British government history.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes to the left, 432.
Leavers think it isn't hard enough, Remainers think it's too hard. There will not be consensus. Remember that the interpretation of democracy isn't a matter of opinion, but perspective. Facts don't change, the selection of which facts to consider does. 51.9% of those who voted Leave. Fair enough, but let's extrapolate these actual numbers. 51.9% means 17,410,742 votes total out of a potential 47.5 million votes. That's 37.44% of eligible voters who are in favour of leaving the EU, and a shocking 26.35% of the UK population as a whole. Not so democratic now, is it? But wait, it gets worse. Considering that citizens of the remaining EU did not get a vote, it effectively means that 3.4% of its population have decided that the EU will be economically worse off for the next decade or so than it would have otherwise been. I accept that the inclusion of Article 50 was a political necessity in order to form the modern EU as we know it today, and every country agreed to this possibility happening in the future, so fair enough. However, the very reason we hold general elections every couple of years is that things change, and oh boy, have things changed in the last 3 years. The pound is down, inflation is up, real estate values are down, the UK economy as a whole went from third strongest growth to second to last. And Brexit hasn't even happened yet. And we now have an answer to, what does Brexit mean?
Brexit means Brexit.
No, not that one. May's deal is the answer. Believe it or not, most who voted Leave didn't vote for a no-deal Brexit, but didn't know what a deal could look like. Now people know. 3 years later, and completely apart from the fact that such a dividing and complicated issue should never have been put up for a horrifically simplified yes or no vote, Britain has now decided it likes direct democracy. So let's put it to the people. The people's vote isn't about re-voting the 2016 referendum. That's done, we get it. It's about a new reality that has emerged. Let Parliament make a choice. Let them choose deal or no deal, and then put it to the people. Whatever the government chooses versus revoking Article 50. Now, apart from all of that, the EU is holding elections this May, and it is crucial that you vote. Don't let anyone tell you your vote doesn't change anything, or that the EU's decision-making process doesn't involve the MEPs that you elect. Any new law which is to be adopted by its member states must have been confirmed in a vote by a majority of MEPs, the representatives elected to represent you on all things EU. Just remember, representatives elected to represent you does not equal representatives you voted for. And if that's your main argument for debate, my candidate didn't win, then you're not interested in democracy, but autocracy. Every EU citizen gets a vote, no matter where you live. Unfortunately, this is governed not by the EU itself, but by member states' laws on voting. That means some people can vote in their respective embassies or consulates, some can vote by mail, like me, and some have to physically be in their home country. If you want to know what your country's requirements are, visit howtovote.eu and it will tell you how you can make your voice heard. Register to vote and use your vote.
We will make Brexit